Welcome back. A quote from T.S. Lewis says, "To do the useful thing, to say the courageous thing, to contemplate the beautiful thing." And that is enough for one man's life. Those of us who knew Doug Strong know he did just that. Doug was born in Moscow, Idaho, and attended the University of Idaho, earning a Bachelor of Science in Park and Recreation Management. He completed a Master's of Science in Park and Recreation Management at the University of Oregon in 1979, leading to a long and prosperous career spent predominantly in the West.
Well, Doug's career with the City of Richland began in 2007 when he was hired as Parks and Recreation Director. Sadly, in May of 2010, Doug was diagnosed with cancer. Doug vacated his position to Parks Director to receive treatment and courageously returned in the fall of 2010 before retiring in March of 2012.
We hired Doug Strong 5 years ago. I had the pleasure of being his city manager and his friend. And I look at this today and remember many times that we came down here and we stood right here on the sidewalks contemplating on what we should do. And so I think it's so appropriate to have a bench dedicated in his name right here. What better way for a Parks and Rec director to be able to show his love for the very park that he was a part of. So thank you, Carol. Thank you to your family. But most importantly, thank you for sharing Doug with us. He was a remarkable man, and he will be missed by all of us, but mostly by his family, I'm sure. But again, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
As Doug's wife, with Whitney, we used to spend a lot of hours walking in this park. I used to do a lot of morning walks through, and I'd come home and say, "Doug, what are you doing about the sagebrush?" or "picking up the trash," and I was like, now when I do my walks, I'm like, who do I tell? It's like, Carol, we're on it. Anyway, that being said, of all the jobs that Doug held in our 33 years together, this was by far the most meaningful. He seemed to always be hired to go in and take care of things and take care of people and kind of create that, I don't know, softer and friendlier environment. So I hear messages that he did that here also. For us as a family, the city will always be extremely meaningful. So Doug wanted a bench here. We would do our walks and he'd say, "Aren't these just neat?" And we'd stop and read them or sit on them. And a girlfriend of mine, her mother has a bench up the way. And so it just seemed right to make this happen. So I just can't thank all of you enough for putting this all together. And just seeing all your faces and your recognition and appreciation of Doug. We miss him a great deal. You know, every day is a bit easier, and we know we'll be moving forward. So thank you again, and we love all of you and so appreciated your support.
During his time with the City of Richland, Doug was instrumental in moving projects along quickly, and the list of accomplishments is quite spectacular. Among them is the completion of the Possibility Place Dog Park, the Badger Mountain Park Splash and Play, the Goethals Park Nature Playground, online class registration, the electronic activity guide, the community gardens, and the park ranger program. And that is just to name a few. Doug was well respected and liked by his staff and everybody he met, and he'll be sincerely missed.